see, I do got to talk about this Dragunov thing here. Well, Dragunov and Dragon Lee had a real barn burner, as they call in the backyard wrestling fucking indie shitty companies. AEW as well. Here's the funny thing, because there was this sequence that happened with Dragunov and Dragon Lee, where it was one of those kind of like rushed, really, let's do this really quick sequence. And it's going to look really cool. It's like Circus Olay. We're not going to sell anything. We're going to do 3 or 4 fucking super kicks to the face, an Insiguri. I'm not going to sell it, and then I'm going to bounce off the ropes and do a goddamn Canadian Destroyer or whatever the fuck. And then you bounce off the ropes, then you do a Canadian Destroyer. But what about selling? No, we don't have to sell anything. Just completely fucking ruin it. It's the wrestling that makes me embarrassed. If I ever watch it with like a non-wrestling fan, I'm embarrassed to watch it. Also, worst of all, no storyline, no storytelling with it. But yeah, I saw a lot of AEW fans making fun of this spot, which it just doesn't make sense. They're in no position to fucking make fun of it. And what's funny is they're making fun of the wrestling they like. That's the point that people like me are making, is that it just proves that even though you're making fun of it, you're making fun of the shit that you defend all the time. You're just not you're not defending it because it's not AEW. You're proving your goddamn point. And it proves that this indie backyard bullshit wrestling doesn't work even on the biggest stage of them all. WWE. It bores the fuck out of people and it loses people. And it's funny when AEW fans make fun of it because they're like, "Oh, is this what you're saying is different from AEW?" And it's like, no, that's what what I say all the time. Let me speak for myself. Is that I don't want WWE to do this. But for some reason, they still cater to you fucking idiots that like that type of stuff, that don't like it because that only like it when it's AEW, and you're going to make fun of it just like I do when it's WWE. At least I'm consistent. I make fun of it no matter where it is. So it shows you that these people really don't even like the type of wrestling they watch. They think it's bullshit. They don't even get it. They only get it when it's guys they like. Which shows you it's just political nepotism. It's bullshit. And really that Circus Olay type of wrestling only works if you do it perfectly. And even then it doesn't really like work. It's just like kind of cool for the live audience. Because you're seeing people flip around in front of you. It's like the same thing of when you see somebody do a kickflip. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's high risk, low payoff. But yeah, I hate that type of wrestling. So all the AEW fans that are making fun of this, I agree with you. That type of wrestling fucking sucks no matter where it is. Could be AEW, the shitty shit that you watch, or WWE, the shit that I watch but I skip through because I'm fucking sick of it. Watching dudes wrestle for no goddamn reason. I'm not a retard. You know, let me tie this in because there was 2 other things that I felt like had the same kind of vibe. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at Bash in Berlin. Decent match, I guess. I don't even know how you judge these fucking things. They worked hard. Is that what we're doing now? Like they busted a sweat. Okay, sure. Doesn't everybody that's in the ring? But the match was completely ruined by the end of it. because they had 50 fucking false finishes that diminished the ending. So by the time they finally had the final pin, it was like, oh, okay, that's the end, I guess. Like I thought it was gonna be another false finish. But it was so many times that they tricked you that they it's like no matter what, it's like could be a card trick. If I do the same card trick over and over, you're gonna be like, oh, all right. Okay, get to the final like part of the card trick. Give me the final ta-da. And if you do it enough times, people are gonna be like, all right. And then when you finally do the ta-da, they're like, okay, good, it's over. And that's how I felt that match ended. It kind of ended with like a, oh, it's over. Okay. Another one was Andrade versus Carmelo. How many times are we going to watch these guys wrestle for no reason? No story. Other than they're trying to be better than each other. All right, how does that make them any different from anybody else on the roster? Why is Carmelo and Andrade, why do they see each other as each other's like step up? Or like I have to beat this guy to prove I'm the best. The best at what? The best flippy do guy? I could do the best corkscrew moonsault. And that's another thing. They're doing these fucking corkscrew moonsaults and these goddamn. There's one point he Andrade, I think it was. He does a moonsault, lands on his feet because Carmelo rolls out of the way. Then he does a second moonsault, and again, great athleticism, but he completely misses the second moonsault. Does a corkscrew, completely misses the corkscrew. And those are the moments that they shouldn't be selling, but then they fucking sell that. There's a point where they do a Spanish fly, and you can see there's like a fucking good 15 seconds of them both going like, all right, let's get our balance. Hold on. He holds him up. He holds up Carmelo. It's like, let him fall. You're wrestling him. Fuck him. And then you see them count even. All right, 1, 2, 3. Do the backflip. You do a front flip so you can do complete the Spanish fly. And it's like when you go back to the Dragunov Dragon Lee sequence that completely fucked up, you realize that a lot of it is just they're so trying to like get through it so quick and so fast that when they do fuck up, it's like a domino effect. It completely ruins it where they're like, oh no, I got to do the loop around again. It's like, how about you go, okay, the spot's fucking dead. We fucked it up. Let me grab them. Back in the day, they would grab them from the back and then wrestle them down, and then have them in like a resting position where they would go, okay, let's reset. But they have this script that they have to follow. Oh, we fucked up the line. Now we can't capitalize, or we can't revamp this whole sequence. And that's what I'm talking about, is like the perfection in wrestling kind of annoys me. Sometimes I do like to see a fuck up, but when you see them getting nervous and shit like that, it's like, oh God, it ruins the suspension of disbelief. So there's a thing, like guys like Andrade and Carmelo and Dragunov and Dragon Lee, they just need to slow it down a little bit. Take your time. And then, have your bursts. And then, again, take your time. They want to have these fucking 30 step chain wrestling sequences that it's like you can see them like saying it in their mind. It's like an actor that's trying to remember his lines. No selling, no nothing. It's just it's bullshit. It's boring.